Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. For those who are new around here, my name is Amy, and I am here to help you incorporate gifting into your client journey to enhance your client experience. So I am back. I hope everyone is doing well. Um, and I know I have been kind of off schedule over the last month or so on Fridays. I've kind of been off schedule, but I have a good reason for it. And I um, I wanted to come on today. I wanted to come on today and talk about giving unforgettable gifts. If you watch my last video, then you know that I told the story, and I hope this is not. I have on some mascara, and I hope it's not mascara and eyeliner. I hope it's not uh, all over the place. But anyways, if you watched my last video, then you know that I gave a story about, or not a story, I gave 3 lessons that I learned from giving bad gifts, right? From having bad gifting experiences. And it's part of how I started my journey. Um, as far as when I learned those lessons and began to put process in place to not do that again. So I wanted to come on today, though, to speak to giving unforgettable gifts, because that's one of the things that I had to do or had to figure out how to do after I had given those really bad gifts to my bridesmaids. So the lesson that I learned um, from those bad gifts when I went through the second time to give them I gave them 2 gifts, right? I gave them the first gift, which was the one that they forgot all about, right? No one could remember. And then the second gift was one that I put more thought into, and that's basically the lesson that I learned. Like I mentioned on the last video, that I need to have a plan, and I needed to keep the recipient top of mind. So I learned that lesson. And but one of the things that I did for that second gift that I gave them was I made sure that they wouldn't forget this one, right? So that was my aim. That was my goal, to make sure that they did not forget this second gift, because like I said before, I remember how it felt to um, called them, well, one, to have one of the bridesmaids leave the gift behind and not even want it, right? And then to ask them and they don't even remember. They only remember the second gift, but that was with intention. I wanted them to remember that one. I wanted to make up the gifting decisions that I had made in the first, for the bad gifting decisions that I had made in the first gift, right? So I'm going to talk about today giving unforgettable gifts. And there are 3 things that I try to make sure I do. There are some other things, but these are oh, sorry about that. There are 3 probably pretty major things that I try to remember to do when I am creating gifts, and when I'm creating designs or creating gifts for others. And those 3 things is: 1, I want to tell a story, or know what story I'm going to tell, right? And then 2, I want to choose the right items. And I've talked about this before. And then 3, I want to present the story beautifully. So in telling a story, right? The first thing in creating unforgettable gifts, you want to tell a story, but you have to know what that story is. The gifts that bring surprise and delight, the gifts that will enhance the client's experience with you, the gifts that will show gratitude are those that tell a story. It's about more than the presentation, right? It's about um it has to do it start well, I guess it starts with your intention and you knowing why you want to give the gift and what you want them to feel, basically the outcome of the gift. So, you know, it starts with that intention, knowing what story you want to tell that client or to tell your recipient through that gift when they open it, right? And the way that I know to do this is to um, write down why you're giving this gift, right? Because that's a part of the story. Write down the um, the emotion you want your client to feel from this gift. That'll be a part of the story. And write down the outcome that you want when they receive the gift. And use that to fuel what you choose for the gift and how you present it. Right. So then you want to make sure you choose the right items. This is not going to be long at all because most of this I've already talked about in previous videos. So I don't want to keep going over and over the same things. But I wanted to present it in this way because, I had to be very intentional after learning that lesson. And it is something that um, do, I've done repetitiously over and over and over. That's how I know it works, right? So I may talk about it repetitiously, right? But I know it works. Um, and the reason I talk about it so much is because it is something that you're going to have to do over and over again. But anyway, tell the story. Write down why you're giving the gifts, what you want them, what emotion you want them to feel, what the outcome is, what outcome you expect. And then you want to choose the right items. Now, the items are very important, obviously. Like I said, it's about more than just the presentation, more than just making it look pretty. Um, so you want to choose the items that will help you tell that story. Choose the items that will help you tell that story. And as I'm talking, there's a gift that comes to mind. It was for an individual though. So I want to, it was for an individual. And when the clients came to me, they were saying that, this person has everything and they can't think of anything to give that person. And I began to talk to them about, I found out their why and everything and what they wanted the person to feel. And then I began to talk to them about what this person likes, um, what they're excited about, what their favorite things, their favorite things, their favorite color, favorite foods, things that they like to do. A lot of times we think that people have everything they need, but you don't know if there's some other spin that you can take on a gift that you would give if you just sit and think about all the things that you know about that person. And so I began to talk to them, and you know, after that conversation, I generated ideas, created the design, sent it over to them. And they were like, we have not thought of this, right? So choosing the right items. And I have to, this just came to mind. Had I thought about it earlier, I would have gone back to get what she said. But the person loved the gift, right? It was a special gift. They really loved the gift. My clients really loved the gift as well. They were excited to present it to the recipient. So it is very important to choose the right items. And the way you choose those items is by knowing the likes and wants of the recipients. And in this case, where we're focusing heavily on client gifting, then you want to make sure you understand the likes and wants of your client type. I think, you know, in entrepreneurs, we go about the process of um, learning our client types, studying our client types, and creating an avatar or a user profile. I'm sorry, not user profile. That's my work language. Go about creating a client profile. And that's what you use to create your service with, right? Um, but you also want to be able to use that in your gifting as well. You use, there are going to be other details that you'll know about a lot of the couples that you serve, but in general, you want to use your client profile or your avatar to make sure that you're choosing the right items for your clients. Um, it's a few videos back, but I know that I spoke about being, like I gave the example of the coffee mug and the example of the candles, right? Which you might want to choose, your clients might like a really simple but elegant look, right? Or have a simple but elegant style. And you go and choose something that is vintage or something that is very eclectic, uh, something opposite of their style. That is not the right item. That is not the right item. They'll probably look at it sideways because it's nowhere near what they would choose, right, for themselves. And you may not get it right at first, but I would encourage to study your client profile and your avatar to make sure that when you're creating gifts for your clients, that you're choosing the right items, and those items that you choose should be able to help you tell the story that you are seeking to tell with this gift. And then the third thing that I mentioned was to present the story beautifully. And you want to choose pretty things. Obviously, you want to make it look pretty, but you want to present the story as well. Like I said, it's not just about the gift being pretty. And what I mean about presenting the story, you want to think about that gift um, and how the recipient will view the gift. You want to think about it from beginning to end, from when they receive it to when they get down to the very last item. You want to think about when they receive the gift, whether it's mailed to them or delivered to them or just you hand it to them, right? When they look at the box, what do they see and does what they see contribute to the story that you want to tell? And I know I stick with me. It's a lot more um, to gifting or creating gifts that are unforgettable. But stay with me. You want to think about what story will the outside of that box tell? And then when they lift, if it's in a box, when they take the lid off, what do they see? And does what they see contribute to the story that you want to tell? All right. Um, if there is paper or tissue there, when they open the tissue or paper, what do they see? Have you arranged the items in a way that tells the story in the way you want to tell it? There is a way to arrange items in the box so that their eye hits the thing you want them to see first. And you want to arrange your items in that way to tell the story, right? You want them to see this thing first. So you will um, you would package the items inside the gift in a way where their eyes will see that first most important thing that you want them to see. That's the first part of the story, right? And then you want to arrange the rest of the items in a way that, where they're when their eyes move around the box, they can take in the story that you're trying to tell. And I know it sounds strange, but you can do it. um, Kind of think about when you have received gifts. What did you see first? What did you, if you, when you opened the gift, what did you see first? What attracted your eye? And then think about why your eye was attracted to that thing, right? Um, and so you want to arrange the items so that um, they help you tell the story that you want to tell. And you want to then absolutely think about all the pretty things, all the things that can make it beautiful, uh, that can, that would just bring them pure delight. Um, by seeing this gift and receiving this gift and with the items that's in it, all of those small details that take it to the next level, you can think about those things as well. And I'll give an example. If you remember from last week's video, I told a story about a baby shower gift. And I'm going to go back to this one. I have other examples, but because I've already told this one, I'm going to go back to this one. And how the baby shower gift that I created, and it was one of the first gifts that I create. So mind you, I had already learned this lesson and I was incorporating it from the jump when I started to get clients. Um, so, and my client, she had no idea the way I was gifting. All she knew is that she needed a gift. She wanted it to be very nice, and she knew that I did that. And so, I got all the details and everything, and I started to put the gift together. And um one of the things that, let me back up. So let me make sure you know what story I'm talking about. This is the gift where the recipient opened the gift and everything, and everybody that was the people that were there um had a great experience with the gift as well. They remembered it. And the lady that, you know, remembered it very well met me 4 years later and realized I was the person that created that gift. And, she instantly remembered the gift. She remembered details about the gift, actually. And those were the details that I thought about up front. Um, she had I did a custom ribbon to the gift, but I didn't know I was going to do that ribbon at first. Not that I made the ribbon, but it was a custom ribbon that I got for the gift, and it was it was the first thing that she saw. And the thing about it is we went to, we thought really hard about her theme and, why she might like that theme, and, things like that. We thought really hard about those things, and I incorporated those things into the gift. So obviously when she first received the gift, that's one of the things she saw was the theme of her baby shower, not just in color, right? Not just in color, but we went in and added special details that were associated with the theme. And then not just associated with the theme, it was the theme. When I look back at the pictures, I didn't know exactly, but just based on what was described to me and the confirmation of my client, we chose a ribbon that would spark an emotion, right? When we knew it would. And so for the things that were in the box, there were special details added to the things that were in the box. And I always, another thing I like to always include in every box, and most gifting companies do this, is a note. But the thing that we did was make that note card specific to the theme of her shower. It wasn't a general one. It was a handcrafted card that was based on the theme of her shower and her baby shower. And it was another thing that evoked emotion, not just the card, not just what was said on the back. Obviously what was said on the back of the note card was um beautifully said by my client, and was a heartfelt note, and would bring, anybody to tears reading it. However, the extra step that we went to, not just putting a standard card in the box, but putting a card that was specifically made for her. It was specifically made for her. And so, yeah, that is how you want to think about your how you're presenting the story that you want to tell. Those details, those small details add to the story. And a lot of the gifts that I did, depending on what the person liked, there will, my signature bow is going to be in there somewhere. It's something that I like. I don't do it for, obviously, I don't do it for all gifts because, I've had some people say, well, she's, for a particular recipient, she's not a girly girl, right? And so I wouldn't do that for um, that particular person. I would think of other details to add into the gift. Um, I remember having a client that said the recipient loved lilies, and I found a way to incorporate those lilies in there. Um, we had a story that we had agreed upon to tell, and just in creating the design, I had fun with it and decided that I would incorporate those small details that helped me tell the story that my client wanted to tell. And so I'm saying all of this too, and I didn't want to be on here too long. I don't even know how long I've been on here. Oh, 22 minutes. So I wanted to just talk through like the main things that I changed in my gifting, and I changed those things right away. Um, and that made a difference, that helped me give a gift or give gifts that are unforgettable. And specific to my bridesmaids, making these, you know, doing these three things: telling the story, choosing the right items, and presenting the story beautifully, um, was something that I did right away with my bridesmaids gift. I really thought through that second gift that I gave them. And that is why when I called them, it was 10 years later. When I called them 10 years later, they remembered that gift. So, um, yeah, so that is how you give unforgettable gifts. Just don't be like me and give gifts that the client will forget, um, because I'm pretty sure it won't get the outcome that you're looking for, right? So that is all that I have for you today. If you are not subscribed, please go ahead and tap that subscribe button, click on the subscribe button. And if this information was helpful, then definitely like the video, so that YouTube knows that this is some helpful information and we can get the word out about giving unforgettable gifts. But that is all that I have for you today. So until next time, happy gifting and many blessings.